What's up and welcome back to another video, guys. Today we're going to be reviewing set 75357, the Ghost and Phantom 2. This set released on September 1st of 2023 for $160 USD. It has 1,394 pieces with 5 minifigures. Now this set is a Amazon exclusive, however it is also for sale at the Lego store as well as at the Disney store. I believe that I saw it there. But without further ado, let's get right on into this video. Starting off with the build, the Ghost and the Phantom 2 itself, I think, just to say right off the bat, I think the build is very nice. I think it's very accurate to its screen appearances, and I am a big fan. I think the overall shape and just design of the ship in general is really cool and very unique. I really like all of the bright colors and just different colors in general, the red, the accents, the blue, the sand green. It just all comes together really nicely and makes a very nice display set, in my opinion. Now, there's a few things of note, starting with the main kind of area. You have your front area where you have your cockpit. You have two separate areas right there, which we'll get to when we go on the interior a little later, as well as a turret down below, which can swift from side to side. It's kind of hard to see from here, but we'll lift it up just like this. You have this bar right here where my fingers are, and you can make that gun swivel from side to side. And there's also two flick fire missiles that I seem to have lost, but those are also there. I know a lot of people, mixed opinions about those, but these are hidden away pretty nicely, so they don't take away from the ship at all, in my opinion. Moving on, there is some nice kind of detailing on the side, some greebling. That looks really nice and kind of brings this together. All over the ship, I have to say, I think they did a very good job at adding in detail. Now, part of the way that they did add detail is with stickers, and I have to say, there are a few stickers. There's a fair amount of stickers. I know there's a lot of people out there who aren't a big fan of stickers, and this set, it does have a fair amount of stickers that do have to go on some odd places. For example, when we talk about the Phantom, I guess we'll get on with that with some of the stickers there, but there are a lot of stickers. Personally, not too bad. I'm not a sticker hater, but I know there's people out there who aren't big fans of stickers, so I figured that I would let you guys know. And then as we come along to the sides, you have the little boarding areas, which look really nice in my opinion. They're very nice. They're brick built, no studs on them either. It's the snot technique, which looks really nice in my opinion. You also have these small little door loading areas under, which are kind of hard to access, so you kind of have to flip it like this, but they come down just like that. Now, unfortunately, I'll talk about this more when we get to the minifigure and the inner area of the ship, but you cannot really fit a minifigure up there, unfortunately, just given the scale of the ship. Given to fit a reasonable price, it had to be scaled down a bit, to actually fit in its Lego form. But that pretty much does it, except for on the top area, you have another kind of gun area, another cockpit area with this small little glass where you can sit a minifigure, which we'll get to later on the interior. And that works nicely. And then there's this small turret on the top, which can move up and down, but not side to side. Now we'll move to the back, and one of the strong points of this set, I think, is the thrusters right back there. I think it's really cool. I really like this color blue. It's normally not what we see for the back sides of the ships. We normally see that trans blue, so I'm happy to see this new kind of color being used, because if I'm not mistaken, I don't think I have seen this used in a set before. But I think the build overall for this is really nice. There's some really nice detailing in there, which you can see with some of the droid arms right there coming along with all of the different wheels and Technic parts. I think make this look really nice in my opinion. It's just really cool, and it's usually with Lego ships, one of the poor parts of the ship, something that you don't want to see, is the backside, the thrusters, because they're normally kind of ugly, if I do say so myself. But I think this the Ghost did this very well, and I do really like how this turned out. Now we will move on to the Phantom, which is very, very small, which, has to be expected. Normally, last time that we got the Ghost, I believe the Phantom was, it came separately. I know this is technically the Phantom 2 because the first Phantom went boom, boom, but we have this, it's very small. I don't have the other one on hand. I have it in the box, but I don't have it out of the box. But this is small. You can kind of barely fit a minifigure in here, which we'll get to in just a second. Let me grab this guy right here. Throw him in there just like that, and then you can close. So it works pretty well. They kind of have to lay down. They can't really sit down, which is kind of unfortunate. But I do think that the overall build for this is nice. I'm not gonna lie. I think it looks nice. It's very clean, in my opinion. Now, there are a lot of stickers, many stickers. I think there's almost more. Okay, that's a lie, but there are a lot of stickers on the Phantom 2, and the ones that I don't like the most are these ones on the cockpit. Were very annoying to put on. I wish they would have just printed this and it would have looked a lot better. It doesn't really show up on the camera, but there's a lot of bubbles in there, just given that it's, you know, this sticker with like the little trans clear stuff there on top of the trans clear part right there. It just doesn't look the best in my opinion, but overall I think the build for this came out pretty good. You know, it comes together nicely, and I am a fan. I'm very happy that they included it with the Ghost and didn't sell it separately, because when they did that last time, you know, then you have to buy 2 sets just to, you know, complete it. And to attach it, you have this little mechanism right here on the back, less of a mechanism and more of just, you just put it in. You just lay it right down there, you slide it in, and then it is attached just like that. But now let's move on to the interior. Now, the main way to access the interior is actually just removing this top part right here, which comes off with ease. You can take that off and then you have access to the interior, as well as what we'll look at first. The cockpit areas have some nice interior as well. Coming on, if we move this down right here, you have your first kind of center area right there. It's kind of hard to see without the light, so I'll move it up. And you have your first cockpit right there, which makes use of a very interesting technique using the Inquisitor lightsaber to make a nice little like control thing right there, which I think looks really nice. And I hope that they do that with more sets in the future. Now, on top of that, you also have another area of the cockpit. Also, this whole thing slides out. I probably should have mentioned that first, that this whole thing slides out just like that, so you can get your minifigure in there. A minifigure fits in there nicely, and I do like that you are able to take this out. Now, I will say it's kind of fragile, so be careful when you're putting it back in. I have broken it many times putting that back in, but there we go, just like that. Goes right back in, and it's nice and sturdy up in there. Then we'll move along to the other part of this, which is going to be hard to show on the camera at this angle. I'm sorry if you get a little motion sick, but I'm going to have to move this up just like this. Actually, you know, we'll hold it just like this and hopefully I don't drop it. But you have the second part of the cockpit right there. We can fit yet another minifigure right up that little staircase. And then you have another little control panel. It's pretty bare and plain, but what do you expect? There's not really much they could do there. Now, I am actually going to cut and raise the camera so we can look at the rest of the interior. Now, looking at the interior, there's not a ton of room here, unfortunately, given the small nature of this ship, but there is some definitely notable things to take a look at. Starting off, you have a small little sink right here where your minifigures, you know, can wash their hands and do all the stuff that they need to do. There's also a small crate right there with carrots in it. Unfortunately, I have one hand on the camera holding it because the tripod can't get this angle, so I won't be able to show you what's in there, but you'll have to take my word for it that there is a carrot in there. And then coming along, you have these areas on either side, the little drop down area where you get to the other side of the little loading bays or chute areas. Unfortunately, like I said earlier, too small for a minifigure to actually go down. I think Jason can fit down there technically. Hold on, where is he? Get that little guy. Yeah, he can. He can't. I lied. So unfortunately, yeah, no minifigures can go up and down the ramp, which kind of stinks, but I'm happy that they still included it because it's a very fun play feature. Now you also have a spot right here for Chopper to go on these two little plates. I don't know why they necessarily did that. You know, he can also just go anywhere else on the ship, which is something that I do like about the interior of the ship, is that you can stand your minifigures all around and still close the top. Normally when you do have interiors like this, there's not enough space, you know, to have fun and put your minifigures in there, but with this there's plenty of space and the top still closes even though you have minifigures standing up, which I really like. I'm a big fan of, and I like when the minifigures have, you know, space inside the ship and you can actually fit all of them in this set. Now if we come along to this area, there's not much else going on. There's just a small control panel right there, and then the same little drop chute on the other side. Now, that does do it for the interior, and to close the top, you know, you just place it right back on like that. Now, there actually is one other thing that I forgot about that I do have to mention. Once that gets back on like that, we have the little area up here, the turret, where, you know, this just pops right open, and then in there, you have a spot to place a minifigure. I believe it is this guy who belongs in there. You just, you know, he can stand just like that, and then you can close. And actually, no, I think he's supposed to sit, actually. So we'll sit him down real quick. And now he should be able to close just like that. There you go. Nicely, he fits in there very nice. But now it is time to move on to the main part of this, in my opinion, which is the minifigures. Our first minifigure included in this set is First Officer Hawkins, and you know, he's a very basic and plain minifigure, but I do think he looks pretty nice. I really like that color scheme with that light blue on like that nice little tan kind of color, or like a medium nougat, I think is what it's called in the Lego catalog. Not much detail going on for him. There's some back torso printing right there. Nothing special, kind of just boring old torso printing, and the front is also pretty simple. Now, I do think dual molded legs would have looked really nice on this figure, but it's not something that, you know, Lego likes to include on random Star Wars figures, unfortunately. I don't really have much else to say about this guy. It's a pretty cool basic minifigure. I really do like that hairpiece, I will say, but let's move on to our next minifigure. The next minifigure that we have, and maybe one of my favorites, is Lieutenant Beta. Right here, I think this minifigure is one of, if not my favorites from this whole set. There's so much detailing, starting on with his head. This is different than the other Mon Calamari heads that we've got. There's so much nice detailing there with the printing, which I am a big fan of. There's just so much detailing. You have printing all around on it too. Well, I guess not on the back, but on the top and bottom of the head, as well as the eyes. It looks very nice in my opinion. And you have that really nice blue and white like pilot's outfit, which looks really nice in my opinion. And I think there's lots of good detailing on the legs as well as the torso. And if you come along, you also have some pretty plain and boring back printing, but it doesn't really matter too much. I mean, the whole back of this figure is pretty boring, but you won't really be viewing this one from the back. But I do really like the front and the overall printing of this minifigure. I think this is probably, I'll say it's my second favorite in this set. Now we move on to my favorite minifigure from this set, and one of the biggest draws is the new and updated Hera. Now, at first, when this first got like revealed images and people were getting it, I was not a fan of this minifigure, but now that I've had it in hand for a while, it's been growing on me quite a bit. I think overall, it's a really nice minifigure. I love the orange pants. They look really good. They contrast very well with the brown. And as we move along, there's not too much going on. You have some nice back printing on the back of the torso with the little crest right there, as well on the back of her like little Twi'lek headpiece type thing. Has some nice circles and detailing on the back as well, which is really nice. I do like when they add that detailing on the back because they definitely didn't need to include it, but it definitely elevates the figure that it is included. And then going back to the front, you have some nice printing all around, and you also have the little goggles printed on the top, and you also have an alternate head or face on her. Now they did choose to go with the no pupils, which I know a lot of people weren't a fan of. I'm kind of indifferent. I do think pupils look a bit better, and that I don't think they should be doing no pupils on all of these minifigures, but at the end of the day, I don't think it like ruins the figure or anything, because they also didn't put pupils on the other Hera, which I have right here for a quick comparison, which I think they both look really good. Obviously, this one being in the Rebels style is a bit different, but overall, I think this one is a very nice one. But yeah, there's not really much else to say about her. I think she's a great minifigure and probably my favorite of this set. And next is the most controversial figure from this set, being Jacen Syndulla. I don't really have much to say about this minifigure. He's a very forgettable character and a very kind of, I don't know, not boring, but there's not really much going on here. He's got really nice torso printing, I will say, and the back of his torso has some nice printing as well. He's got those little just boring short legs, and then his face print, once again, just straight up, not really much to say about it. It's some very generic faces. You got the smile, and then you've got the other smile, one with teeth and one without teeth. But the big drama comes from the fact that Jacen is supposed to have green hair and not brown hair, and this minifigure has brown hair when the character is supposed to have green hair. Personally, I don't care that much. I don't really. He only appeared in Rebels for a tiny bit, and I don't even know if he appeared in Ahsoka. I watched Ahsoka so long ago now that I don't remember if he did, but overall, a pretty boring figure, not much to say, but I think it was definitely well executed, apart from the fact that he has the wrong hair color. And our last minifigure included in this set is Chopper. Now, I am not a big fan of this Chopper. I don't know if it's just me. Something looks off about him. I don't know what it is. I have the other Chopper right here from the Rebel sets, and to me it looks a lot better. This one's just too saturated. The dish piece, it does not. In my opinion, it just doesn't look right. I don't know why they put that stud there to try and represent the dish, because it looks nothing like the little dish. It just looks like he has a plate on his head. And then just the colors, they're just really light. It's weird. I'm not a fan of it at all, and I don't know why. I can't really place what I don't like about it. I think it might just be kind of everything combining to make me not like it, but it's not a bad figure. There's some nice printing. You come along the back and there's some nice printing on the back as well. Now there is no top printing on the top of the head like there was on the other Chopper, which I think looked really nice, but in my opinion, I think this Chopper, the older Chopper, is just so much better than the newer Chopper, and I don't know what it is. Let me know what you think. Let me know which Chopper you think is better, because I don't know why I like this one so much more. Something about this one, it just doesn't do it for me. It just looks off, and I can't place what is off about it. There it is, the Ghost and Phantom 2. My final thoughts on this set is that it is a very good build with some pretty good minifigures. I think 2 of the 5 minifigures are really good and the other 3 are kind of take it or leave it for me. But I think this set is a very good deal. I think for $160 it is a tiny bit pricey, but I do think it's worth it. But this is a set that you can find on sale pretty often. I got mine for $130 from Lego when they had it on sale, and I have no doubt that it will go on sale soon, but I do know that it is retiring at some point pretty close in the future. So if I were you, I would not wait if this set is something that interests you, because personally I think it's really great. I think it is the best of the Ahsoka sets that Lego has put out. Let me know what you think about this set, and let me know if you did end up buying this set or if you plan on buying this set down below in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe. Drew signing out.